For a long time, people thought luxury travel meant champagne, butlers, and marble bathrooms. Now, don't get me wrong, those things are nice. But the more I travel and the more travelers I work with, the more I think the real luxury is comfort. Not rushing through an airport, not dragging luggage across 5 city blocks because a hotel looked close on a map, not needing a vacation after your vacation. Sometimes the most luxurious part of a trip is simply feeling relaxed enough to actually enjoy it. And that can look very different for different people. Welcome to Travel Thoughtfully, the podcast, where we explore the stories, perspectives, and experiences that make travel more meaningful. I'm Karen Hester, travel advisor and owner of Travel Thoughtfully. Last time, we talked about how the journey itself can become part of the travel experience. Today, we're focusing on something that doesn't get talked about nearly enough. Comfort. Not flashy luxury, not over-the-top indulgence, but the kind of thoughtful planning that makes a travel feel easier, smoother, and more enjoyable. Because comfort isn't one size fits all. And the more I travel, the more I realize thoughtful travel planning often comes down to understanding what helps someone feel at ease. One thing travel teaches you pretty quickly is that two people can take the exact same trip and have completely different experiences. One traveler wants every excursion possible. Another is happy as sitting on a balcony with a cup of coffee watching the world go by. Neither approach is wrong. But people may feel pressure to travel a certain way, to maximize every moment, to keep up, to do what everybody else is doing. But thoughtful travel isn't about proving something. It's about creating an experience you can actually enjoy. And one thing I've heard from travelers over and over is that energy becomes part of travel planning. We often think about budgets and destinations, but energy matters too. How much walking is involved? How early is the flight? How many connections are there? Is there downtime built into the schedule? Because if every day feels exhausting, eventually this trip stops being enjoyable. And I think that's something more travelers are starting to recognize. Some of the most important parts of travel planning are details people never notice when everything goes well. Arranging airport assistance, securing a scooter rental for a cruise, choosing a hotel that's easier to navigate. These aren't things people always think about at first. And yet, small details can impact someone's overall experience. Sometimes one adjustment can completely change someone's trip. It might be avoiding an impossible connection in a huge airport, or choosing transportation instead of adding another long walk to an already full day. It might be slowing the pace down so that every day doesn't feel rushed. Because sometimes the phrase charmic historic property is actually travel code for there will absolutely be stairs. And these concerns don't only apply to older travelers or travelers with disabilities. Some people live with chronic pain. Others experience anxiety in crowded environments, while some may be dealing with strollers or tired kids, because travel should work for real human beings. The phrase luxury travel doesn't always mean extravagance. It may mean the ability to experience fewer hassles, better pacing, more convenience, and less stress. Sometimes the luxury is a nonstop flight, or staying in a hotel that's closer to everything instead of one cheaper that's further away, or even giving yourself permission to slow down. I think we're starting to see more travelers prioritize experiences that feel sustainable instead of exhausting. And that's a good thing, because the best trips usually aren't the ones where you did the most. They're the ones where you were actually present enough to enjoy them. The more I work with travelers, the more I think thoughtful travel planning isn't really about perfection. It's about reducing friction. It's about understanding what helps someone feel comfortable, capable, and relaxed enough to fully experience the trip. Because comfort looks different for everyone. And that may be one of the most underrated luxuries in travel. What about you? What's one thing that makes travel feel more comfortable for you? I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. And if this episode resonated with you, I'd appreciate it if you follow, share, or leave a review wherever you listen to podcasts. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Travel Thoughtfully, the podcast. And remember, at Travel Thoughtfully, our philosophy is simple. We plan, you experience. Hope you join me next time when we explore whether travel loyalty programs are actually worth it.